Here we are ready to start our project on the 1970 VW bus. We're going to be getting to that in a minute. Here's my other baby, my 69 VW. Been in the family since 1970. And here's Harley. He's been with us about 8 years. So now let's go get going. Today I'm going to try to solve two problems. One is a vacuum leak on the intake manifold where it meets the carburetor, right here and right here. Second problem is this pump is too close to the generator. So I'm going to solve that problem by raising up the carburetor with this spacer. The manifold is bowed and the air is leaking in from the sides, causing a lot of engine problems. Vacuum leaks are a killer. So I'm going to try to solve those today. Now I've got the distributor cap off, took a couple 13mm nuts, holding the carburetor on, connected the two wires, 8mm, disconnected the cable. Now I'm going to remove the hose clamp, and I should be able to take this carburetor off and expose the bowed flange. I have a container here to dump the excess gas that's in this bowl. And there I'm revealing this flange that has been bowed. My plan is to clean it, apply a magic marker to it, make it black. Then I'm going to get a piece of sandpaper on top of a flat piece of glass, and I'm going to take it over the surface, and that should expose all the high spots. Well, the magic marker was not working, so I used some mold release, which is just a kind of a carbon spray you spray on molds. It comes off easily, and it seems to have coated pretty well. Now I'm going to get my glass with the sandpaper, work that surface, and it should reveal all of my high spots. And there we go. They're starting to come up. Looks like it's right in here. I'm going to have to work this a little more. Then I'm going to take a bastard file, smooth long strokes, even this surface out, take it out, all those high spots. Well, it's taken 2 or 3 passes with the file and the black and then the sandpaper. I think I've got it pretty good. It's coming up shiny on all surfaces. So I think I'm ready to gasket this thing up and put the car back on. There's another item that needs to be addressed, and that's the length of the studs on the carburetor. With this spacer, they're not going to be long enough. So I need to put some longer studs in. In order to do that, you'll just put a couple nuts on that existing stud, tighten them up, and then you can use a wrench to turn these studs out. When I did that, I noticed that I had a second problem. This Solex 34 Pick 3 also has a bow in it. Probably not enough to be a serious problem, but after dealing with the other side, I just figured I'd fix this too. When I put this on there, I could clearly see daylight through that gap. So I went ahead and pulled this spring off, got my file, had to take quite a bit, about 15 thousandths off of this side and maybe 5 thousandths off this side. Now I've got a nice flat surface, and when I put this on here and I put this spacer in and tighten it down, I can see on the inside that I've got a nice, good seal, and I'm not going to be dealing with any vacuum leaks on this side of it. I'll also have to use a second gasket on the other side going next to the intake manifold. That will be another project for tomorrow when I get my 40 millimeter longer studs. I thought I'd also make a note here while I got this carburetor off to check the settings here for my pump. Now, if you're getting a little hesitation off the line and you need a little more squirt or less squirt, there's a little plus side on this end of this cam here, and a minus over here. So by loosening this and moving this to the right for more squirt, left for less squirt, you're going to deal with that problem. Also, I was suspect of the boots on my intake manifold. I thought I might have a tear in one of them, and I found a new product from MP. It is a split tube, and you can actually put these on after it's installed. You'll cut away the old one, you'll put this one on, and it comes with clamps, and you don't have to pull everything off to repair that boot. Well, I ordered my studs for the carburetor and ordered two. They sent one. This is really not a stud. This is really an all thread. That's what the other stud looks like, and it's checked so it doesn't screw in too far. I think this will still work, but to make the other stud, I'm just going to get a 40 millimeter bolt, get my handy dandy angle grinder, cut the end off, and I'll be good to go. If I put two nuts on it, I'll use the nut to straighten up the threads when I take it out. Okay, we got the longer studs installed. I'm going to go ahead and put this little baby back on. And we should be ready to go. Well, it's back in place, and spacer looks good, spacing looks good, and also we've got a little more room between the alternator and that pump drive shaft, so I think I'm looking good. Now we just got to go start her up.